Hello, and welcome to today's daily run. And it looks like we're starting at the graveyard today, which, always a weird sentence to say. But anyway, just checking out the team here, we have a Delmise, a Rufflet, and a Hippopotas. So, not a bad roster to start a game with, honestly. I see a Midrivas, and I'm debating whether or not to catch it, and I end up catching it just because I really like it, as, huge fan of Johto in general, so pretty much everything from Johto, I find a reason in my mind that is, worth to catch. Even though it's not. It's literally an adamant nature Misdreavus, but oh well. Not gonna be staying in the team for long anyway. But yeah, so how are you guys doing today? We have double ghost types right now, so yep, here's the Ghastly, and you're right, I am going to catch it. Because if you have two ghosts, why don't not add one more to the roster, Just kidding. Yeah, but I am going to cut this Ceruledge right here. I am going to diversify the team eventually regarding typings and whatnot. I'm not going to go ahead and go with 17 ghosts to the final boss. Don't worry about that. And by the way, I highly recommend you catch Ceruledge. It's a pain to catch, but oh well, that rhymed. But anyway, GENESECT is the final boss for the run, so it has the ability that switches types. I'm not sure if it's protein or I don't know. It's probably protein actually, but it's always nice to have like a fast fire type mon. Not that Ceruledge is exactly fast, but fire type. It's nice. So here's the first battle of the run against a trainer, which is actually a double battle. So interesting. Always hate seeing those. Like always lose them on. There's pretty much no way to get through that without losing them on. I believe I will maybe lose Misdreavus as well, but the fight itself is not a hard fight, just, if both mons target your mon, you're kind of cooked. Because, limited options of mons. And anyway, they were actually nice enough to put two mons with two ghosts, which is, very nice of them because, we're at the graveyard and we've seen pretty much only ghost types. And here's a tree stump, so I'm not gonna be catching just because I already have a lot of ghost types. Would have been nice to have the grass typing, but oh well. Ghastly is evolving into Hunter. I can already spoil a little bit for you that I won't be keeping Hunter for long. Eventually I'll get rid of it and you'll see why. It's a nice substitution. So I choose a Super Potion here just to have a healthier team. Not gonna catch Litwick because it's literally a worse Ceruledge. And here's a Cubone. For some reason, I forgot that I had a Hippopotas on my team. And I'm like, ground type. And my brain is immediately like, you need to catch this. So yeah, I will catch this Cubone. I will eventually see that I have the Hippopotas, but anyway, Misdreavus is not doing anything in the team. Anyway, so I just go ahead and switch it out for Cubone and take the max revive. Actually, I take the opportunity to switch around the items because, as always, I always check the items and take like half the run to go ahead and switch them around. This time it was on floor 9 though, so I think I'm getting better with that, just a little bit. So the first boss of the run is Mismagius, which, this fight is not an easy fight just because it's a really fast mon, it's fully evolved, it has Hex as its stab move, and also has Beads of Ruin, which lowers special defense by 25% of every mon which is on the field. So pretty much none of my mons can take a single hit from this thing. So I figure I better just start throwing balls and pray, and in fact, I do end up getting it, but I don't add it to the team just because I just got rid of Misdreavus. Why add the Mismagius? It won't learn any moves anyway, so yeah. Here's floor 11, we are at the Abyss right now. So here's a Poniard. I am going to catch this just because I have so many dark type weaknesses on my team. By the way, I really like Hunter near Ceruledge just because of the purpleness they bring. I don't know. I like purple. But anyway, here's a Murkrow. I won't catch it. I already have Flying type and Dark type now in Poniard, which I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not going to be on the team for long, and you'll see why as well, because I do find a better dark type right now at floor 13, which is Houndoom. I always love Houndoom. As I said, Johto, so yeah, I'm gonna catch it, and it's a really fast mon. It's adamant nature, it's pretty fast, and it's well balanced now with attack and special attack, unfortunately. But it would have been better to be modest or something, but we can work with that. And in fact, we will. So yeah, rolling for something, get nothing, get a little bit of money back, just a little cash back, you know, just so I won't be completely broke and may be able to roll for something later, since life hates me and I got nothing. So grab some nice balls, that's what she said, and we're the first, no, I mean the second trainer of the battle at floor 15, which is pretty easy. Honestly, Houndoom sweeps the hell out of this trainer, just because it's like really fast, and I don't know, she seems to have a lot of weaknesses to fire and dark, which is nice. They're being kind of, you know, nice with the trainer typings, even though we've, you know, pretty much encountered ghosts and dark types. I do get the Mega Bracelet right there, but yeah, no Mega Houndoom. You know my luck. It doesn't exist, in fact, so yeah, you've seen me hatch shinies if you've been on my channel for long enough, so you can have an idea of the luck I don't have. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and try to deal with this double battle as best as I can. I am going to try to catch this Morgworm just because of the fairy typing. I don't end up actually taking it to the final boss, but it does help a little bit from the way, like there. I believe I use it a little bit. Fairy types is always a nice type to have because it's, you know, immunities and yeah, good defensive typing as well. So Marble Stiff is a pain to deal with just because it's thick, you know. It takes a while to die, and yeah, Morgan takes out my Ceruledge and half my team is dead. I switch into Rufflet and start chucking balls. Thankfully it stays on the first one. I get rid of Dalmice because its move pool sucks and I haven't used it in a single battle other than maybe once or twice in which I just threw it out there and died. So here's a Thieful, which always hates to see because this thing, it's thicker than it looks. It looks like a Lipart in the sense that you think you're gonna one-hit KO it, but you never really can do it, you know. But I don't actually have the best team for that either, so who knows. I catch this Mabostiff, I don't really know how to pronounce it correctly, but yeah, Mabostiff seems more natural. Just for the fact that my team is half dead, and if I would try to fight it, I would probably lose like 1 or 2 mons, and we're at floor 19. I don't need that in my life right now. My life is stressful enough as it is, so roughly learns Slash. So yeah, I get rid of Protect just because I won't be using it. Take the opportunity to heal Houndoom. And this battle, I should have been more prepared for this battle. You should be more prepared than I was for this battle. So, because I only have like 2 decent mons for this, which are both dark types, and one of them only has dark moves. And her whole team is dark, so yeah. Pretty much Houndoom is going to have to do with all the heavy lifting. It takes out 2 mons. I know a little bit about Lipart, and I faced Mari enough to know that this thing, by this level, pretty much only has Sucker Punch in maybe another move, offensive move, I mean. So I just stall it out. I let it kill my Rufflet so I can switch back into Houndoom, which dies to a Seed Bomb, which makes me sad, but Ceruledge is there, and if Seed Bomb is the only thing it has, I just go ahead and burn it to half the damage I'm gonna take from physical attacks, and take it out with a couple of Flame Chargers, plus burn damage. Yeah, this fight was a little rough because of the team I had alive. If I had my whole team alive, it would have been maybe a little easier, but you should prepare a little bit better than I did for this one, so keep that in mind. Anyway, we're at the cave now. Here's a Golbat. I already have Flying and Ghost, so I'm just trying to figure out the best way to take it out with least casualties possible, but it poisoned my Houndoom, so that sucks. But I heal it up. Can't really not go for a fire move against a Parasect, like it's so tempting. And I actually almost ended up catching this thing. I was considering it. By the way, multi-lenses, great item. Put that on your best sweeper you have on your team that you think it's gonna benefit the most from, which in my case was Houndoom, which is good actually for Fire Fang because, you know, double chance for status. That's burn and flinch, so it's nice. Hippopotas is alive, he's here, and it evolves into finally Hippowdon. So yeah, now it's gonna be doing some work. It actually ends up doing a lot of the heavy lifting for the second half of the run. Like, nothing amazing, don't really use it at the final boss, but you know, once it evolves, it's a little better to use. I'm trying to decide what to do with this mushroom. Honestly, I think Ceruledge has some decent moves, but I just end up taking Thunder Fang on Houndoom just because I saw it was an adamant nature. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this. I think I used it once, maybe, and that's it. I am trying to take Steelix down with Hippowdon because I wanted to learn a better move than Dig. A better ground move, I mean. And by that I mean Earthquake, of course. And Morgrem is evolving into... ta-da-da-da, Grimmsnarl. And it's nice because now it has a fairy move because I don't need that many dark type moves, man. Like, its move pool is kind of generous and weird at the same time. Oop, double battle with trainers at floor 25 with fighting types. And thank god my Grimmsnarl is here now and has a fairy type move, so... Bye-bye, Scrafty, and I'm just gonna go ahead and... Actually, I don't really remember what I did here. I think I go for Shadow Claw. Yeah, on Conkeldurr with Ceruledge and KO Scrafty pretty easily. A lot of moves that I don't really want are being learned right now, so I just ignore that. And if Ceruledge dies, it's pretty expected at this point. It was really low on health, so I just switched into Haunter just to be immune for, you know, Bulldoze and fighting type moves. So that was it for floor 25. Honestly, trainers are not tough on this run so far. I don't think they're tough at all, like speaking from someone that, you know, just did the run. But yeah, I am just stalling out this Diggersby because it can't touch my Haunter. I don't really feel like wasting a mon that, you know, it's gonna be useful later because by now I already know I'm gonna be replacing Haunter, and it doesn't really matter if it has low HP. So I go ahead and curse again just because I don't want to switch into anything against an Ursaring because it hits hard. So as you can see, Fury Swipes does a bunch of damage. Thank god it only hit like 3 times, I think. So yeah, the combo of Dig and Curse, it's actually pretty nice for the stalling. So Hyper Potion on Hippowdon because it deserves to, and switching to Ceruledge for the Hariyama to be immune to fighting, Shadow Claw, crits, bye-bye. And the Candy Jar is always tempting, but I don't think it's kind of worth it on daily runs because I don't actually end up going for a lot of candy, so yeah. Here I am debating what to do. I do end up catching this Golisopod, which is a pretty nice addition to the team. It does a bunch of work on the last 20 floors or so, like 19 actually. I don't catch it for the GENESECT obviously, but at that point I didn't know that, so I caught it, and it's pretty nice because we're going to be facing a lot of rock type gym leaders and a lot of ground mons, and you know, first impression and Sucker Punch is a really strong combo as well. So I died to Meteor Beam and switched into Houndoom thinking I'm gonna be a genius in Thunder Fang, completely forgetting that half the rock types are also ground types. But oh well. I also dig against an Archeops by accident, so a lot of things are happening, but I end up taking it lower than 50%, so Defeatist kicks in and it doesn't really do anything against my Hippowdon. So yeah, I teach it Earthquake finally, and now it's a really reliable mon, really thick, and hits fairly hard, I'd say. So I end up sweeping the rest of Rock's team with it, I believe so. So yeah, also Houndoom learned Flamethrower, which is nice, you know. I know it's in Adamant Natures, but Houndoom's special attack is a little bit higher, I believe. If not, at least this one on this run is, so it ends up being quite even. So I can kind of mix a little bit and make it a mixed mount, so mixed attacker, I mean. I end up choosing the Badlands just because I'm having kind of fun using Golisopod. That's why I said, you know, it's gonna be a decent mon, and you can use it to sweep a lot of this second half of the run. Now, I can't say if you chose the other routes. Like, I am personally choosing what I find more interesting to also, like, not only to play, but for you guys to watch. So, also not to make the videos, like, super long. I kind of know which biome by now, by the hours I have put in this game, which biome I'm gonna have an easier time with, depending on the team I have. So here's another shell bell, which is nice. I slapped that on Golisopod just because I've been using it, and what do you know, it pays off immediately. It would have died right there to Rock Slide, but it did not. So, oh, thank God, Houndoom learned Crunch. I am kind of skeptical of foul play just because if I did a Dark type with a strong hitting move and the final boss is Psychic type that's really specially offensive, like, that's gonna diminish my potential, man. Don't really want that. Here's a dude that has like 35 Gargonicles, so I don't really understand. This bone kind of makes me uncomfortable because it looks like it's wearing a giant like pharaoh hat, like in ancient Egypt. But I know it's supposed to be like a modern rock or something, bedrock or whatever the term is. But I can't really see anything other than a weird thing with like slim long arms wearing a giant pharaoh's hat. But whatever. Am I the only one who feels like this about this one, by the way? Do you like it? Like, oh, and here we are at floor 36, like the peak of this run, I would say. Okidogi is here, and I am going to catch this and put it on the place of Grimmsnarl. I know it doesn't make the most sense for a type substitution, but it's like two types I don't have against one type I don't have on another mon, which would be Fairy, because I already have a Dark type on Houndoom, so... And I really want this, like, I never get this chance to use something nice like this, and I really like this mon. Out of the three Oki mons, Monkey Nuki, whatever the ostrich one is and the monkey one is, but I think this is the coolest of them all. The typing is kind of weird, it's like a weird toxic rogue, but I absolutely love the design. And also, it has a pretty broken ability that badly poisons, like it can badly poison. It's like a better poison touch, like it badly poisons instead of regular poisoning. And yeah, we're approaching the last trainer gym battle, of the run. We are at floor 39. We have a Mudsdale, which is an interesting mon if you want to catch it, if you did not keep Hippo Boy. So yeah, you can go the Pony Boy route. Duck Trio, I don't recommend. Actually, neither of these mons make a big difference for the final boss of this run, so don't really worry about it as much. It's nice to have a ground type though. And look at that, you can watch the sand drip off Hippowdon's back, which is interesting. It's fluid, it's, nature at its finest, a sand hippo. Here we have Granty Boy is the final gym leader of the run. You could say I took the rocky route on this one. Or, don't. But Okidogi actually does a lot of damage here to everything, and it puts in a bunch of work. And I always find it kind of interesting that it has a gigantic tail that looks like Greedent's tail, but you can't really tell it when it's, on the other side of the field, but because it has a pretty huge body as well, so I find it interesting. I don't know, is it a big squirrel? Is it a cat? What is it supposed to be based off of? I know Okidogi, like Dogi. I don't know if it's supposed to be a dog, but... Anyway, here we are at the desert, and we have a Credilli. We don't want to mess with that, so... Down pretty easily. I was actually kind of surprised it survived the hit, but it's pretty tanky, so... I switched into Golisopod here, completely forgetting the sunlight. I know it shined, it shone, 3 times already, and I'm like... Oh, I'm not doing as much damage. And now I realize... And I end up switching it. Eventually, I end up switching it. Here's a Maractus, no reason for you to catch this, knowing the final boss is GENESECT, so just go ahead and KO it with your best mons or moves. Here's a Steel Worm, and I completely forget every time. I always oh, Steel type, I'm gonna go for my ground type. And actually, on this run, I don't actually make the mistake of going for the ground move because it has Earth Eater. But I remembered it kind of late. Oh, also interesting, it fled the battle by using Shed Tail, but now the substitute doll is just sitting there. If you can kind of see, it's behind Wheezing. Look at that, it's just there. I don't know, I thought it was kind of funny. I think the substitute doll is pretty cute and, you know, goofy. I would love to have a plush of that. The trainer goes down and we're trying to learn defog, but I don't really need it. Take some money. Here's another hippo in case you didn't keep yours and you feel regretful or want it to be a female. And like the substitute doll, like, man, I just can't. I'm just looking around to see if anyone can learn high horsepower, but Hippowdon already exists, so don't really need to teach you to Okie Dokie. I'd rather have two options of fighting moves. So yeah, I end up getting Toxic right here. I mean Poison. Well, it was Poison Fang, so technically Toxic. And here's the last mount of the run before the final boss. Go ahead and kill it and you're good to go. We are going to go into battle with GENESECT now, so take out your best Firemon. I think Houndoom is actually faster, so I go for it and go for Flamethrower, double hitting it because of the multi-lens. And yeah, pretty much I can go into anything and finish this off with ease. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for tomorrow's daily run. Bye bye.